Hey guys, welcome back to Keeping It Real While We Heal. I'm here with my fellow emerging leaders.
Hi, I'm Naima. I'm 18 years old and I've been with Gwen's Girls for almost 3 years.
Hey y'all, I'm Allure. I'm the president of the Emerging Leaders and I'm 17 years old.
Hi guys, I'm Malaysia. I'm 19 years old and I've been an emerging leader for about 2 years and I'm the vice president here.
My name is Mara. I'm 15 years old and I've been an emerging leader. I've been in Gwen's Girls for a year.
Hey, my name's Kalea. I'm 16 and I've been in Gwen's Girls for like 3 years and an emerging leader for like a year.
So today our topic will be teen dating violence, and what that is the physical, emotional, sexual, or mental abuse that goes on in relationships with teenagers. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can be with your friends, family, anyone. So I actually found that 1 in 12 high schoolers have actually been a victim of sexual violence, which is kind of crazy. And we just want to bring more awareness to this topic because it's something that affects a lot of us.
So I wanted to talk about the red flags in teenage relationships that I feel like a lot of us don't see, like such as somebody controlling you. Now it could be a male or a female in the relationship that's being controlled or manipulated in the situation. If somebody's telling you what to wear or where you can and can't go, and ultimately trying to isolate you from society, your parents, your friends, just from the world, and making it seem like you're the only person they could talk to or they're the only person you could talk to, then you should know that you're in a toxic relationship.
Because a big part of this is boundaries. As Myra was saying, these boys, these girls that we get involved with are not our parents to tell us what we can do and what we can wear. I mean, it's good for our people we surround ourselves with to give us advice and things like that, but there's boundaries to it, which makes it become toxic or unhealthy.
Also, making you feel guilty for situations that are not your fault. Like if you're apologizing for something that has nothing to, that wasn't your fault or you had nothing to do with, you're being manipulated. You shouldn't have to apologize for something you had nothing to do with.
Like when they guilt trip you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the direct term for it is gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then just like, I feel like people get gaslit day to day, every day, and they don't realize it because they're not taught it. Nobody teaches us this in school. When we're talking about toxic relationships, we talk about things that happened in the past. I feel like a lot of the time it's not updated. So we're being told things that nobody does anymore because nobody understands how this generation works, and we're not having people tell us what to look out for when we're talking to somebody. Just like Naima said, you don't have to be, nobody has to be putting their hands on you for you to be in a toxic relationship or for it to be abusive. It could be mentally, emotionally, and you could just, if you're in distress, you're being abused and or manipulated.
Emotionally, mentally, there's other levels of it other than just physically. But on the physical note, just because someone isn't punching you doesn't mean it's not physical abuse, because there's other ways, the way someone grabs you up or anything like that, that's abuse too. And we often think it's just getting punched or smacked, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not physical abuse, but it can be mentally being abused. Like boys think like these days that what they don't bring to the table for us or like make us grow through doesn't have any effect on us. Like we could just not have feelings how they don't have feelings, and God didn't make us like that. God made us with feelings. Like they God made girls with like horror, like real true feelings. And I just feel like boys sometimes don't understand like how we feel about them, just because like at the end of the day, because they might be hurt too. So I just feel like sometimes that what they're going through is blocking how they like really feel about us, and it makes them hurt us.
It's like hurt people, like they always say.
I feel like another way, like what Laura was saying, that somebody could not be physically abusing you is like punching walls or like throwing things when you're mad. It's just like a way to like show you not to stay down and not fight back or just don't speak back about certain things. And it kind of like makes you feel scared, and that's also a form of abuse.
And having somebody try to show you their dominance, somebody showing you their dominance, like punching the wall
Yeah.
and stuff, that's abuse, like we just said. And also being pressured into having sex. If you do not want to have sex, you don't need to have sex. It's not a priority, and it's not something you have to do in a relationship.
I agree 100%. Just because you make that decision to be my boyfriend and I allow you to be my boyfriend doesn't mean now that we have this title that you can just get that side of people, because it's boundaries, like I said.
Right.
Yeah.
Consent will never be out of the picture. You know, no matter how long you guys are together, no matter how comfortable you are with each other, you know, there comes a point where you're like, you know, you're getting down in the moment and you're like, no, actually, I don't want to do this. You should be always allowed to say that you don't want to. There should never be a point in time where you feel like you can't say it because you might hurt their feelings or something or anything like that. Consent is imperative, you know, to the health of a relationship.
If you feel like if you don't engage in activity with your partner, it means they're going to go do something with someone else because you didn't, you shouldn't be with them. That's abuse.
I just feel like these days, like, relationships are like more built on like what is like what people make it seem like it's supposed to be, or like what God made, or like however relationships was made. I feel like people are too caught up in that, and relationship is supposed to be on you and your partner building your own story and telling your own story and growing and doing things that's going to better both of y'all together and make y'all level up.
And also individually, people think in a relationship y'all are just supposed to completely join together sometimes and grow together. There should be individual growth amongst yourselves in relationships to show if that's something you should really be getting yourself into. Is this the type of love that you want? Because all love doesn't mean it's love. You could say, I love you. Do you know how to love me? And do you know what love is?
And also, self-love plays a lot in a relationship, because if you can't love yourself, then how are you going to love someone else or show someone else the love that you've been looking for your whole life?
Right.
Your self-esteem is actually something that can keep you out of these toxic relationships, because the more self-respect you have for yourself, the less you're going to allow this. The first red flag you see, your self-love is supposed to be big enough to walk away then. And, you know, you see it and be like, I think I can fix this, or, you know, maybe it'll get a little better. And
then it just get
you
worse.
be 3 months
Never
right down the
does.
line like, oh, I should have been left the first time. But you weren't loving yourself. And how you treat yourself is also going to show somebody else how they might should treat you too. So we teach these people how to treat us. And we also teach them how to treat us when we keep going back to them.
Allowing the cycle to continue, basically. Like, if you keep allowing somebody to disrespect you or talk down on you and basically downplay you in general, you're letting them have that power over you. And it's abuse at the end of the day. You're in a toxic relationship. Somebody's continuously talking down on you, telling you you're not worth it, you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough. You should never let somebody talk to you like that. The self-respect and self-love you should have for yourself should, like Allure said, let you be able to walk away with not feeling a care in the world that you walked away because you know that you had your back at the end of the day.
I feel like another big issue, like within our generation, is you feel obligated to stay with somebody because you want to fix them, similar to what Allure was saying. Like, you don't have to stay with nobody and heal them or fix them. Like, you're not obligated to do anything or be somebody's mother.
And why would
Right.
you just read in my mind, girl? I was just about to say something like that. Like, I just feel like what Naima was saying, like, people just feel obligated to, like, you know, I don't know. This is a hard topic to talk about because, like, this is something that I'm going through, like, right now with the person I'm talking to. And it just, like, it flashbacks memories, like the stuff that we're going through. But I just feel like some people would rather deal with the pain that the person's bringing them than the pain with getting over them and having to be alone. And I could vouch for the people out there in the world because I'm one of them somebodies. Like, I would rather deal with the little bit of hurt and then the other good, like, you know, other good side about that person, because everybody's not perfect in the world and everybody has a good side to them and a bad side to them, and then stuff they already got in the bag and then other stuff they need to work on to make them a better person.
I agree with you. And you might not come out of a relationship the same way you went into it. You may have learned some things from each other, but it becomes a repetitive thing. If y'all's constantly going down this whirlpool, there's difference between a trauma bond and a relationship. And that's a big thing. I didn't really even know that. And like you said, you go through. I'm pretty sure we all have. We talking about like leave the first red flag. That's our advice. But personally, I didn't put up with some things that I'm not proud of. Of course, we all have. So we're just giving y'all this advice. So maybe y'all don't have to feel that way. Or maybe today you could start working on your self-confidence. About tomorrow, you could leave one of them scrubs alone. You know what I mean? Like, because at our age, like, I don't know if we know, like, what a relationship's supposed to be. Marriage is down the line. And we be investing our developmental years into other people when we supposed to be figuring out what we like, what we don't like, what we want to be, and we's wasting on these boys who, like you said.
Girls
yes,
too.
like you said, everybody. This is not just for the girls. Because girls could be just as abusive as
a boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother thing.
You also need to see who somebody idolizes. People are idolizing relationships like Krishan and Blueface.
Crazy.
Future.
You don't need to be. Future, if you got a future mindset, you
Toxic
can
King.
be somewhere else.
That is some-
Because it's just
Our music.
the music you listen to. Now, I'm not going to say it. The music you listen to, y'all have to really understand what y'all are saying, because we be saying some crazy stuff, don't even realize it. We be listening to Glorilla and Yo Gotti, Future, thinking they spitting some real facts. No, we are kids. We're not even 18 yet. We're kids, and we're trying to relate to these. We shouldn't be relating to these music. We
When
shouldn't be
they're grown
relating to this
people.
song. We are not grown.
And it's cool. Like, it's cool that we like these musics, but you have to be strong enough in yourself to, like, okay, this is music. This is not going to be my reality.
You have to be able
Like,
to
you could,
separate it.
yeah, with the music, but that don't mean I have to look at women that way, or that don't mean I have to talk like that. That don't mean I have to dress like him. That don't mean that these materialistic things are the things that matter. You could separate yourself and just listen to the music, not be it.
So you could say with my man today, back outside tomorrow. You ain't gotta relate to it.
Yeah, I feel like the big idea here is just think for yourself. You don't have to be like the couple on Instagram or people on Facebook. Just be yourself and build your own relationship. Like, you don't have to follow everything that's on social media, even though it's like a big influence on us. You don't have to be like everything you see on the internet.
Be your own couple goals. Stop trying to be somebody else's couple goals.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes people try too hard for social media, but in my eyes, I just feel like the people that's on the other side of that screen ain't helping you pay your bills, ain't there to rub your back when you crying, ain't there to keep you fed, put groceries in your house, put clothes on your back, give you soap, toothpaste to wash your butt, brush your teeth. I just feel like people just try too hard for the internet and not, like, for their people who's
So-
actually there for them.
So when do you guys think enough is enough?
When somebody's
Enough.
talking to you in a disrespectful way. When if you was with another person, you'd be like, I wouldn't even be with that. But
Yeah.
if you gotta say to yourself, nah, if you was somebody else, I wouldn't be with it. You shouldn't be with it with that person. You should not allow somebody to just do whatever they feel or want to you because you love them. What is love if it's that? You're not loving yourself. You love that person. So you think, but that's really not what love is, and that's never what love should be. It should be 50-50. You do some, I do some, or not even that. You should be taking in and giving out what somebody's giving you. It shouldn't be one-sided.
I feel like enough is enough when they start to show that there's double standards in a relationship. Like, you could do this, but when I do it, it's a problem. I don't like
Hypocritical.
that.
It's
Yep.
cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
I just feel like boys just feel like they could just do whatever they want and get away with it because they think that just because they're giving us something that's making us feel a certain way, like our other loved ones can't make us feel, which is like being intimate with someone. That's what also makes the bond toxic, because it's like you don't want to go out in the world and do anything with anybody else because you like the way this person makes you feel, and that's has something else to do with what I was talking about, like the other good side about a person. Like, it's not always bad days. Like, it's the other memories about how they made you feel happy, how they made you feel like, what if like your loved ones was making you feel some type of way and they was there for you, or your escape. And that's what, like I said, that's what makes the relationship toxic too.
I agree with you. You made good points.
Me too. I also feel like, I also feel like if along what I said when I said somebody talking down on you, you should also watch how you talk to somebody else. Cause I know a lot of these girls, we be trying to run the game too, trying to do somebody how they do us. But if you playing the get back game, you ain't gaining nothing. You ain't getting back nothing. You just wasting time and energy chasing something or doing something that to prove a point. Who you need to prove the point to? There's nobody to prove the point to. Once it gets to a point in a relationship where you're going back and forth, you're going tit for tat. There is no relationship. This is a game of hockey, frisbee. We are doing tennis.
I feel like there's levels of love that we don't even understand.
And we be so young trying to be married for 80,000 years. No, y'all, we could relax. We could live. You need to let things gravitate towards you. Stop trying to chase something that's not there.
And good relationships take time to build. Like, I understand, like, sometimes it comes from a vulnerable place or maybe a place of feeling alone, that you want a person there for you. But it takes time to build something that could last, for you to have a person there.
I know my good sis Malaysia here has a few sites and organizations you could call if you're in a toxic relationship. So I'm going to let her do that one.
Yes, I do. But for the sake of my memory and how bad it is, I had to write them down so I could recite them correctly for you. So the first one is the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and it is 1-800-799-SAFE. Or there's also another number for it, which is 1-800-787-3224, because you are never alone. You should never feel like you are unable to speak up about what's happening to you. You know, a lot of the times, a big tactic that abusive people within relationships like to use is they like to condition you into believing that what they're doing to you is normal, or it's not wrong, or there's no problem with it. Or exactly, like if you report it, you're overreacting, like this is normal, which is so far from the truth. And that's why it's important to remember what's going on, what red flags are, and why you need to know them in order to apply them to real life situations that you could potentially be in. And another hotline that we have available today is the National Dating Abuse Helpline, which is 1-866-331-9474.
Thank you, Malaysia, because there's somebody out there who might really need that today.
Right.
And I'm hoping that it's girls out there that could really take from this podcast and just other podcasts that we have done.
Because maybe some of our viewers are around our age, or maybe it's a parent watching. And your kids may be going through this, because we're attracted to people. This is normal. And sometimes our parents say, oh, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't have a girlfriend. And they think they know what they're doing, and then they hop themselves in these situations and can't get themselves out, because I have to ask my parent, and they can't, because, I wasn't supposed to be with him in the first place. So just maybe try to have some open-mindedness. Maybe ask your kid, like, what's going on and stuff when it comes to those things. Those uncomfortable conversations sometimes need to happen so you could build that bond for your kid to come to you.
And not even only just for the kids. Maybe the parents need this too.
Yeah.
Listen to your kids. We stress this a lot.
Need this too, because every adult is not perfect either. Like I said, like we're all human beings, no matter the age, no matter the time, how we move, how fast we move, how slow we walk, how long we sleep. Everybody is the same. Right?
No, because a big thing is how we see our parents get treated. Let's say our mom's in an abusive relationship. We pick up on them traits. We start to think that's what love is.
So what is something you guys all say to yourselves when you're feeling down and you want to lift yourself back up?
When my self-esteem's low and I need a boost, I just tell myself, I'm still all that.
I tell myself I radiate in self-confidence.
When I'm feeling a little low, I tell myself that I need to make peace with my broken pieces, because I'm not perfect, and that is okay.
When I'm feeling down, I reassure myself that I have the power to create the life I deserve.
And I tell myself that you are not what you've been through, so girl, get up and get over it.
I want to give a big shout out to our big executive producer and emerging leader herself, Janasia.
Technasia.
Woo!
Period.
And with that,
We are the
Emerging
emerging leaders. Us leaders have emerged.
This was Keeping It Real While We Heal, and we're out.
We out.
Bow.